Today's video is sponsored by 6 Foot Tall Tumbleweed. Listen to the new album Wheel of Suffering on iTunes or on Spotify today.
Dark skin, bright eyes, big booty, and thick ass thighs.
Your clothes. Give them to me.
Hey, Phillies and fellers, Brad the Guitologist here, and the day we've all been waiting for has finally arrived. I have in my hands a package addressed to me from an all pedal, which is interesting. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but this is, my friends, the infamous pussy melter. It's time to melt some pussy. Something happened earlier this year. We all know about it. Some ladies complained about a tone print that Satchel from Steel Panther had made on a TC Electronic product. They complained to TC Electronic. Long story short, TC Electronic pulled the tone print. They actually had to rename it something else besides Pussy Melter because it was quote-unquote offensive to these people. And then what happened after that is pretty much the stuff of history. Steel Panther decided they wanted to release this pedal on their own. They have produced this right here, which is probably the most highly anticipated new product, I would imagine, of 2018 as far as guitar products go, and this is the infamous Steel Panther Pussy Melter pedal, and this one is number 90673. This one will be given away on this channel to one lucky recipient. You guys have been donating to the cause for a while to keep this channel going, and one of my lucky donors will receive this Pussy Melter pedal. We're going to do a drawing at the end of this video, so stick around for that. But for now, let's go ahead and open this box. Once again, let's talk first a little bit about who made this pedal. I know Steel Panther was not going to divulge the company that made this pedal, but to be quite honest, I think they deserve accolades, and there's a reason I want to highlight this company, All Pedal, because, my friends, they are located in the great state of Kentucky. Imagine that. That's Paducah, Kentucky is not very far from where I grew up. I grew up a couple of counties over, and yeah, man, I used to go to Paducah all the time. I actually have a half-sister who lives in Paducah. I've got a lot of family down around that area and get down there ever so often. But yeah, All Pedal. They are actually an offshoot of the Warehouse Speaker brand. So this is another thing that Warehouse Speakers are doing on the side. I think they're making boutique pedals now. They have a whole production line. And they make, you know, more than just the Pussy Melter pedal, obviously. They make a lot of pedals for a lot of different companies. And this is something I think is pretty cool, the fact that they were able to turn this pedal around so quickly. They had to make 2,500 of these things in a very short amount of time. As far as I'm concerned, they deserve accolades for that. That's a pretty killer thing. So, opening the box, we get a velvet, really nice, sleek velvet bag, kind of like what Crown Royal comes in. And before we open the pedal, so here's our certificate of authenticity. It reads, "Let it be known throughout the universe," excuse me, throughout the multiverse, that this Steel Panther Pussy Melter is the 705th handmade pedal. It has been manufactured in the USA to the highest quality standard and designed to have the most bitchin' tone ever. It features a unique distortion circuit with a moist gushing toggle and a dirty load, booty, and sizzle tone knobs. Let's see what else we have here. We have a Pussy Melter user manual. Some of us really need that. Parental advisory, explicit distortion. The Pussy Melter is the ultimate distortion pedal. Developed by Steel Panther, it spawned out the Sunset Strip, hairspray, whiskey, sweat, and other body fluids. It was tested on stage, in the bedroom, tour bus, bathroom, and your mom's house. It's designed in the spirit of an overdriven tube amp, so you can run it through your clean fucking channel. Yes, this pedal is crafted and tested in the USA, just like us, Steel fucking Panther. You know, I liked Steel Panther before this whole debacle, but I like them even more now. Directions: put down your beer, look at the pedal, and locate the put it in and pull out jacks. You should also make sure there's a 9-volt power flowing through the pedal. If you don't know that, you might want to sell your cheap Strat copy and go back to flipping burgers. Start with the pedal settings wherever the hell you want them to be. If you want to dial in ultimate wetness, you might want to start with the knobs at 12 o'clock and on moist. Your amplifier needs to either be in standby mode or off when you plug your pussy melter in. Start off with your amplifier in clean mode, unless you're one of those noise rock clowns who just wants to sound like crap constantly. So they're not advocating using this as an overdrive or a boost for your dirty channel, it looks like. Run an instrument cable from your guitar to the pussy melter put-in jack. Run another instrument cable from the pull-out jack to your pussy melter, to the lame named input jack of your amplifier. You totally just hit a chord and then check the volume on your guitar before plugging it in, didn't you? Controls, dirty. Controls the bitchiness of the sound. Nerds and prog rockers call it gain. Load. How much do you want? Turn it up to get more. The moist, gushing switch. Sometimes you just got to ease it in. Or maybe you want to raw dog like a jackhammer. I have no idea what that means, and I have a really dirty mind. Use this switch to adjust for foreplay or full-on banging. Booty. You like more junk in the trunk? Use this knob to bring out the bottom end. Sizzle. Sometimes it's good to hear the scream. Sometimes it's better silent. Foot switch. Step on this to melt pussies. Pussy melter is powered by a single 9-volt battery. You can try harnessing the static electricity created by hot sex. You can access the battery connection by unscrewing the bottom plate of the pedal enclosure. Don't get too high before you do, though, because you'll lose the screws. Also, don't take the screws out over carpet, because you'll totally drop one and then you're fucked. The pussy melter is powered by MOSFET technology. This is as close as you get to a tube amp without tubes, but it also makes the pedal as sensitive as a freshly shaven scrotum. Stop reading this and get to melting pussies already. Let's see, we have a sticker. This will be a very highly sought after sticker, I'm sure, in the future. And we have feet for the pedal, which I will not put on the pedal. And let's see what we have in the bag. And there it is. And I just dropped it, promptly dropped it. Put a chip in the pedal. Oh, it's fucking worthless. I'm gonna have to keep it now. But here we go. Here is the pussy melter pedal. Got a couple of LEDs. And that's a nice touch. We do indeed have a pull out and a stick it in. Dirty, load, booty, sizzle, gushing, and moist. I'm interested to see inside the pussy melter pedal, and I am going to open it up. Okay, here we go. Here's the magic moment. 090673. I guess that is the. I think that matches the number here. 90673. So that is their serial number. I've complained about these types of switches before. They're using Nutric jacks on this thing. Heck with it. Let's go ahead and take the rest of the way out. This board just barely fits in here. Now, why am I doing this? Why am I taking this brand new pussy melter pedal apart? Well, because some people may be interested in what's inside the pedal, so we're going to show what's inside the pedal. Okay, so to get that out, you've got to press this all the way through first. And I'm just presuming you're going to have to do the reverse to get it back in. The problem here is these. How the fuck did they get this thing in here? They don't want you getting this out. I guess. There we go. There we go, I think. See, it just, the jack right there just barely clears. I mean, just barely clears. There we go. Now it's coming out. Wow. That's tight in there. Of course it's going to be tight. What else would it be? Alright, we got a 5K pot right there. And it's different than the others. That's a larger pot. Maybe they just ran out of stock on that value or something. It's all surface mount. We've got a couple of LEDs here. What are the LEDs for? Because you can't see them from the top of the pedal. You can see these LEDs down here, but you cannot see these. So this is definitely a repurposed board, which I expected. I mean, this is very likely not something that was proprietary for, you know, for this run of pedals. For, you know, to design something from scratch, you know, in this kind of time frame, and then turn it around the way that they did, that would be pretty unheard of. So I'm sure they repurposed this board, you know, and probably changed some values here and there, but I'm sure they repurposed this board from something else. And it's using a, let's see what chip this is. Let's see, this is a CA3240EZ. Okay, so that is a BiMOS. That is a dual operational amplifier with MOSFET. Here's the power coming in down here, and we've got a, looks like a diode or two there, a couple of larger capacitors. So yeah, like I said, all surface mounted components. Yeah, I would be quite surprised if somebody just sat here and put this thing together by hand. I mean, maybe they did. It's kind of hard to say, but this sort of construction is usually a machine done. So I don't know what parts they're saying that were handmade, but you know, like I said, maybe somebody did sit and create this. Maybe they're talking about, you know, the assembly part is handmade. But at any rate, this is not something outside the realm of what we're used to seeing in the pedal world. This is very, very typical of what you get today as far as pedals go in the construction. So hell yeah, that sounds pretty flippin' awesome if you ask me. I think you could definitely melt some cooters with that. So yeah, that's it for the demo portion of this. Now let's give this sucker away. Alright guys, here we go. It's time to draw for this thing. I'm doing my best here to make this fair, and the best way I can think of to do this is to list everyone's name who contributed. There were a lot of people who contributed. I have not counted all of the names. Some of these names will be on here twice, and that's because you may have contributed more than one time. Also, if you did contribute more than one time, it doesn't necessarily mean your name will be on this list more than once, because on some of these I consolidated. For instance, this guy, he has 8 chances. He may have contributed a couple different times, but I consolidated them up into this 8. So he's got a whole block right here. So what we're going to do is this, and this back of this sheet is also full. Now, this is the first person to have contributed, so we're starting with him. So he's number 1, and we're going to move right down the list. What I'm going to do is I'm going to a random number generator online. It's going to generate a random number between 1 and 221, which is the final contribution that I have received. So we're going to go to the random number generator. First, I'm going to quickly just go down this list. I'm going to just scroll it past, and just to ensure that everybody sees their own name, you should see your name on here somewhere. If you contributed, you should also see the number of times that you contributed out beside it. And again, you may see your name on here more than once if you contributed more than once. And there's a lot of markouts and things moved around, but you get the general idea. You should see your name on here if you contributed. And those are the last few. And again, we had a total of 221 chances which were purchased. And if you're curious what 221 chances times $5 each equals, that is $1,105 raised for this channel. And I certainly appreciate each and every one of you helping me raise money for the channel. This has been a great fundraiser. I wish we could do it 2 or 3 times. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to a random number generator. Let's see, we're going to generate a number between 1 and 221, and the number will appear up here. Now automatically when I go to this page, it generates a number, so that's why this 4 is already here. So that's invalid because this has a 10 in it as the maximum when I go to this page. So it automatically has a number there, but we're going to go someone between 1 and 221, and then we're just going to go right down the list and figure out who that person is. Ready? In 3, 2, 1. Are you serious? The number 10. So it's going to be a very early contributor. And I'm sorry to everybody who contributed late, but this is going to be somebody very early. And it's going to be the second guy, it looks like. Because he bought 10 chances. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And of course it's going to be this guy. Number 10 will fall to Steve Hogan. Steve Hogan, you are the winner of the... I can't believe it. Usually when you do a random number generator, you usually end up with something, you know, kind of in the middle-ish. But nope, this time it came out. Mr. Steve Hogan, you are the winner of the Pussy Melter drawing. Congratulations, Steve. I don't know what your address is, where you live, or anything like that. Hopefully you're not too far away from me. But I will get this in the mail to you, man. Alright guys, I hope you have enjoyed this whole Pussy Melter saga. It's been a real fun one. Hopefully somebody else raises a bunch of stupid bullshit so we'll have something to talk about. But anyway, congratulations again to Steve. Thank you to everyone else on this list who contributed to the Pussy Melter Fund. I am going to keep this list, and we're also going to come up with probably 1 or 2 more consolation prizes that we can give out, so that Steve is not the only guy to receive something, and we have a couple more chances here for you guys to win something. So stay tuned for that. I may do that in a separate video, but for now, y'all take care.
Because I don't even know what the name is yet.
I'm worried.
I'm gonna say let's go with Pussy Melter. This one's called Pussy Melter. Can you say that?
You can totally say that.
All right. Cool.